Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Talks with Anthony and Tate. We're going to have an insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development. However, today we're going to be talking about how to stay grounded in a world full of distraction. I feel like it's really beneficial for us to take into consideration. We got to stay present, and for us to be able to avoid all the noise, all the notifications, and let's just be real, to reduce even that stress too, because like so many things going on. So I want to be able to give us some practical strategies to be able to, like I said, stay grounded, stay focused, and have a mindful mindset in regards to how we're going to be able to navigate a world and the challenges and just overall the world that we live in. Right, so in the introduction, we're going to be talking about the distracted world we live in, right? So like I said, we have to deal with those phone notifications, we have social media scrolling, we have constant mail, busy streets, loud environments, you got the cars passing by, it's always something, right? So multiple people talking, so many things that's going on in our daily world. However, I think it's really important for us to have that transition in regards to giving us that calm peace of mind, right? So we can find ourselves in a quiet space, taking a deep breath, or even just refocusing. Solitude, right, can really be able to help us stay grounded and relieve so much of that stress, right? So I really need to take in consideration, because when we're moving so fast and so many things are going on, it really definitely could take a toll on our body, our minds, and even our world that we live in. So in our first segment, we're going to be understanding the impact of distractions, right? So off rip, we're going to be talking about the modern distraction, right? The rise of digital technology has made distractions increase. We gotta take that into consideration, let's be real. And the constant ever present, from cell phones to the media consumption, is really what's in front of our faces, right? It's always these powerful tools, right? So in addition to that too, we can talk about why we get distracted, right? So the brain is wired for novelty. So the influx of the information keeps us engaged, but it also fragments our attention, right? So by obviously like scrolling on these apps and the news and all this type of media, we're getting information, it's keeping us glued, but at the same time too, it's keeping us distracted to what our purpose or what we got to really be doing, or even our priorities, what's important to you, right? But like I said, we need to be mindful about, like I said, that technology consumption. Moving forward is going to be the cost of multitasking, right? So while it feels like multitasking, you're helping yourself out, you're doing things, you're getting things done, research shows that it actually reduces productivity, increases mental fatigue, right? You need to be able to, like I said, prioritize things, get things that are important to you done, and then you're able to move down the checklist to complete other tasks. So try to avoid doing too much at one time, because you're only making yourself more stressed. In addition to that too, we're going to talk about attention of mindfulness, right? So attention is a muscle that we have to work on. It's something that we don't just do one time and it's just it's done. We have to keep working on that consistently, so we're able to have those benefits in regards to our mental health and our mindfulness, right? So it can be trained and strengthened with practice. Practice makes perfect, much like physical exercise, right? So when you keep working it out, stay consistent, you're gonna see the body redefined, and things are gonna be beneficial down the line. When it comes to research insights show that in regards to the studies, have shown that multitasking reduces, like I said, that productivity and increases cognitive load, right? So it just makes your brain a little overwhelmed. Switching between tasks decreases the brain efficiency in each task. So like I said, try your best to do what's important to you and work down the checklist. Next segment, we're going to be talking about the power of presence, right? So what does it mean to be grounded? What does it mean to be present? What does it mean to be whole and just kind of just having your mind clear? It's going to feel good. Let's be real. You feel me? So being grounded for it is about, being present, in the current moment, without judgment, without distraction, without the urge to escape. You're just kind of just really just enjoying that moment, right? In addition to that too, mindfulness, this is a practice. Like I said, we got to really be focused on that discipline, right? On being present, right? Observing your thoughts, how you feel, without any judgment, right? And I find, like I said too, is get yourself in an environment. So if you know that you're in an environment that's really loud, it's busy, it's clusters got going on, find somewhere that's a little bit more secluded, where you're able to kind of just get in your bag. Maybe go near nature, maybe go near the lake, maybe go, near the beach, maybe go, There's so many different spots that you can facilitate making this happen for yourself, but you have to, like I said, get yourself in a present state of mind, where you're able to kind of just be free and float and follow just go with the flow. Next is going to be, the grounded mindset, right? So a grounded person feels stable and centered, and even, when we were dealing in turbulent situations, when things kind of make you feel overwhelmed, they practice acceptance, awareness, even balance. And this is really going to be able to help you have that resilience when things get tough. Because like I said, life is not going to be candling. You're going to have your moments of distress. You're going to have your moments of challenge. And you got to be able to have and stay grounded so you have that emotional regulation. And you're able to, be tuned in how you feel, right? It's about that balance. In addition to some insight, we found that benefits of mindfulness in regards to mindfulness practices reduces that stress, like I said, increases emotional regulation, and enhances cognitive focus, right? So it helps us, step back from our thoughts, leading to clear thinking, like I said, that rational thinking. So by having this type of practice is really going to be able to help you long term. It's going to help your brain, your body, your mind, and even the way that you're thinking. Moving to our next segment, we're going to be talking about techniques to stay grounded in the midst of, like I said, distractions. Like I said, there's a time and a place. We got to recognize that. You know what I mean? We ain't saying it's a problem to, tap in the news and see what's going on. But at the end of the day, there's a time and a place. You got to know when to put it down. And I always recommend, too, is maybe have a timer. Maybe 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at max. Put it down, get back into really what's more important. What you got to be doing something productive. You feel me? But this is going to be some techniques. We're going to be able to stay grounded. And hopefully you pick one or two, you feel me, that maybe kind of fit your suit or just try something new, right? And then you're able to work with this to be some, practice for your life, right? But in regards to, tools to stay focused, number one, off rip, we're going to be talking about the single tasks over multitasking, right? So you want to focus on one task at a time, like I mentioned, what's important to you. You want to prioritize that. And this time could basically increase your efficiency and that mental clarity, like I said, by doing one thing at a time. So multitasking may feel like you're being more productive, but it really drains your energy and it takes too much of your attention, right? When you're all over the place. Number two, we're going to be talking about the 3-minute rule, right? So when you're overwhelmed, commit to focusing with, just 3 minutes on the task at hand. This lowers the barrier of starting and, often helping you to build that momentum, right? So like I said, 3 minutes, and then just, you go from there. Number three, we're going to be talking about the Pomodoro technique. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to work for 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. It's very important to take breaks. When you give yourself breaks, you find out you're being more productivity, than you would expected, right? So 25 minutes you're going to work, and then you're going to take a 5-minute break, and you're going to keep repeating that process, right? So after about 4 rounds, you take a longer break. This method really encourages you to, have that focus, that intense, with allowing your brain to have those resets when it has that break too. And this is a good strategy. Let's say this is the table, you're putting this down. This is the way you're locking in on your tasks. So this is really gonna help you out in regards to that technique. Number 4 is going to be mindful breathing, right? So this is called box breathing. It's used by athletes and also too by the Navy SEALs. So what you're going to do is basically you're going to count for 4 seconds. You're going to hold for 4 seconds. You're going to exhale for 4 seconds. You're going to hold it for 4 seconds, right? And you're going to repeat this several times, and this is going to be able to activate that parasympathetic nervous system, calming your body and your brain and your mind down to really just get back to a neutral state. Once again, box breathing, I'll be able to put like an illustration. So you're gonna, the process, you're gonna do it in and out, 4 times, 4 seconds, and just kind of get your body relaxed. Number 5 is gonna be the limit digital distractions, right? Like I said, it's going to turn off non-essentials that are not going to be helping you out. Like I said, those notifications on your phone, your apps, shutting them off, right? So also what you're going to do is, like I said, is you're going to set those phone boundaries. Number 2, off rip, you got to take that in consideration, is that, no checking emails for the first 30 minutes after you're waking up. Just really just kind of identify your schedule, the way that you wake up in the morning, like really, study yourself, really just analyze these things and really put boundaries on that. Like, I shouldn't be doing this right now. This is not benefiting me. I got to get myself together, right? Especially if those out there that are late for work or I deal with time management, we really got to take in consideration that, the time that we're putting towards these distractions that are really, that have no productivity towards us or our day. And take in consideration into that as well is you're going to use apps like, Forest or Focus to be able to limit, those phone distractions. So like I said, there's apps out there that can help mitigate, some of the problems in regards to, like I said, helping us stay grounded and reducing those distractions as well. 6, we're going to bring it back to, those grounding techniques. Like I said, we did the box breathing, but this is going to be something a little different, which is the 5, 4, 3 to the 1 exercise, right? So you're going to look around you, right? And you're going to name, right, 5 things that you see, 4 things that you feel, 3 things that you hear, 2 things that you smell. Hopefully these smell good, you heard? 1, thing that you can taste, right? So this is really going to be able to help you be present, breaking down the cycle of anxiety and distraction, and just focusing on those 5 things is really going to help you to kind of stay centered, and having your mind focusing on those things is really going to help you kind of stay neutral, because nothing else really matters. You're staying present. So like I'm really just trying to emphasize that when we stay present, it's just reducing the stress, it's keeping our mind at an optimal level, so we're grounded, and helping us get whatever we need to get done, as like I said, being productive without reducing the distractions with the technology type of thing, right? When it comes to research insights, we learned that mindfulness techniques like breathing exercise, as we talked about, and focusing on our attention has been proven to enhance attention span and decrease the tendency for mind wandering, right? So like I said, this is going to help us stay grounded, get things done without that procrastination, and kind of staying present. We're going to, be much better off when it comes to those breathing exercises, and like I said, our attention in regards to our focus. Next segment, we're going to be talking about building long-term focus and groundedness, right? So we got to build these daily habits to be able to have those lasting effects in regards to those benefits. So let's start with number 1. We're going to be able to establish a routine, right? That discipline, that consistency, this is where it starts, right? So, a morning or evening routine can really reduce, that decision of fatigue by setting the tone for each focused day, right? So the way that you set up your day, when you make up that bed, you got to have that discipline. This is something that you got to really be able to bring into, your focus in regards to staying grounded as well. Number 2 is going to be practice mindfulness daily. Like I said, little things matter, and the little things can really make, the difference as we add more of that value that we're putting into it. It's almost like that residual income. Every little penny is going to, over a course of years, over a course of time, is going to eventually get to the top. So the more that we put in, the quicker it's going to fill up. We're going to be benefiting ourselves. But like I said, at least 5 to 10 minutes a day of mindfulness can really strengthen your ability to, remain grounded throughout your day. And like I said, with these apps that we have, like Headspace and Calming and all these different mental health apps that are out there, can help you, develop that guided practice and that useful groundedness, right? Number 3 is going to be exercise, right? So like I really emphasize for physical exercise, it's really going to be able to make us feel good. It's breaking down that stress in our body too, making, the body in regards to that physical movement, whether it's yoga, running, or even taking a walk, and really clear, that mental, that clutter, that fogginess, that brain fog, and really enhance us to have that focus. So exercise has been also proven for cognitive function and reducing stress, like I mentioned. So like I said, these little things that we can do every single day, we got to really push ourselves. No one else out there is going to really push us to look better, be better. This is a really big thing. Like I said, when it comes to our personal development, I want you to be the best, look the best, feel the best, and I want you to make sure that you put in the effort. So, all these little things that we're talking about, please add it in, because I want you to feel these effects, and obviously stay grounded. So number 4, we're going to be talking about our prioritizing our sleep. This is a big thing. We're always on the phone, we're always on go, we're always trying to get in the mix and, be a part of things, which is fine, but we got to have balance, right? So we got to prioritize our sleep, right? So lack of sleep impairs our ability to concentrate, right? And be able to process that information and even stay present, because we're just, our body's tired. We got to take that in consideration. So we got to aim for at least 7 to 9 hours. Sounds kind of outrageous, but the body needs to heal. The body needs to reset. The body needs to rest, right? So each night, this is going to be able to help our mind really to, like I said, reset, stay sharp, and stay focused when we're able to prioritize that sleep. Number 5, let's dive right into minimizing multitasking. Like I said, we got to be able to prioritize what's important to us and going down that checklist, but continuously, switching between tasks can really, fragment your focus and increase that stress. So you really want to limit, like I said, things to be more manageable. A simple life is the best life, right? So make things simpler in regards to those activities, whether it be your situations or tasks are, and aim to put your attention, like I said, towards one thing at a time. When it comes to research insights, we talked about, exercise and focus. So physical activity can boost that brain function and improve attention and memory, right? So making it easy for us to stay focused, remember things, and like I said, even a world full of distractions and a lot of things going on. So overall, this video right here is going to help us really boost our brain activity, our function, and help us, stay grounded and have better interactions as well. Because we ain't thinking about what's next, we're thinking about the future, we ain't thinking about the past. We're able to really just be present and enjoy what's in front of us. And that's really important, But in our next segment, we're going to be talking about when it's too much, seek support. I really want to say before I dive into the information is that, really got to take in consideration advocating for yourself. No one else knows you better than who? Yourself. So I really got to make sure that you raise your hand. You feeling down. Just know that you ain't the only one. And there's been other billions and billions of other people on this planet before us. And every woman felt what you felt, and every man felt what you felt, and every, other person felt what you felt. We all have these emotions inside of us, we all human. So I really want us to take in consideration once again that you advocate for yourself, Moving forward, when to ask for help, right? So if, you've consistently are having, these hard focusing, focusing and managing your stress, and, your mind is just clutter mode, that fogginess, as we mentioned before, then talking to a therapist, talking to a coach, or talking to some type of professional could be able to help you and give you the resources and support that you need. So you got to take that in consideration, right? So cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is known to be able to help individuals focus, and manage those distractions and really break down those distortions of really what's going on in the brain. Like I said, when you have a professional, sometimes you can go on YouTube and watch certain videos, and you could, talk to certain people, but they may not have the full scope and have that full lens based off of the proactive education that they may not have gotten. So I'm asking you to make sure that you seek a therapist or some type of coach professional that has adequate training, right? Or even support groups could be able to add that peer support. So other people that are going through similar experiences could be able to, make you feel a little comfortable because you're able to get more perspectives. And with me right now, I'm currently working at an organization that works with groups. So it's really, it's really nice to see other people provide that support, that accountability, and that advice. So I'm asking you, like I said, seek that support. You're not the only one. We all can get better when we advocate for ourselves, right? So like I said, it's okay to ask for help. Seeking support can, through a timing of overwhelming and distractions and so many things going on. But at the end of the day, this is a sign of strength, the sign of, of you committing to your mental health and getting that wellness. So like I said, once again, make that and be accountable for that for yourself. You can, get the help. In regards to wrapping this video, and squishing everything up, hopefully you guys got something out of this video. We really got to take into consideration that practicing and being consistent is going to give us, the better wellness that we need. It's not about being perfect, but it's about making the improvement, making that effort, right? So I want us to take into consideration that, like I said, in a world that is overwhelming, we have a lot of things going on. However, today we learned the tools. So I really want us to stay grounded. I really want us to be present. I really want us to reduce our stress and not be taught from the flow up. So if you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.